Pelosi tore up the president's speech. AOC wants to build a high-speed rail to Hawaii. Why do Chinese lawmakers seem much less dramatic? Now meet this lawmaker, Sun Xiaomei. She worked for 5 years to get a bad law abolished, which protected sexual predators. Up until 2016, a law in China stipulated if a girl under the age of 14 was sexually assaulted, she would be labeled as a prostitute, not a victim, and hence offenders would receive a milder sentence, a really bad law. Now offenders committing the same crime can be found guilty of rape, hence receive much harsher punishment. Everyone in China knows Sun Xiaomei's deeds, but very few of us know her face and her name. Why is that? It's because according to Chinese congressional system, she actually doesn't feel the need to be known. Lawmakers in China are not full-time career politicians like in the West. Politics is more like a part-time job for people in the Chinese Congress. Sun is a full-time professor of China Women's University and of course a female empowerment advocate. And nearly 20% of lawmakers are grassroots workers. Take this lady, for example, a foot massager who keeps advocating migrant workers' rights. And another 20% are officials, like this man, the Chinese president. They sit at the same table in the Congress, but not always with the same agenda. The assumption is, the more backgrounds present, the wider public voices will be represented. Their ultimate goal thus becomes getting their motions passed which they believe would work for people like them, rather than being active on media and keeping their positions as congressmen, because they're not being paid anyway. Of course, making these individuals do this for free has both pros and cons. The upside is they know more about people they represent, but the downside is they are not all as professional in policy making as career politicians. So, sophisticated politicians who may not work for you versus people who are like you but may not be so familiar with politics. Which one do you prefer to represent you? Well, I believe it's always a hard question.